And we're back live. I'm trying to stick to the book, trying to stick to my word. I told you I was coming back. I was going to come back anyway. It could have been later on today or another day, but in my heart, I meant like right back. Supposed to be even before this, so I said I'm at least going to come back tonight. So we're on chapter 4, the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. As a matter of fact, the time is 4:49 a.m. my time. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our words. That is why whenever we make assumptions, we're asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. So it's like all 3 agreements we just learned, all going down, failing at once. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions. It said all the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. And I'm cooking, y'all. That's why I'm still up, too. I made me something to eat. So, I don't plan on reading that long, but I'm going to be up at least another hour. Maybe. Yeah, I ain't eating that much, so I could be asleep within an hour, but I ain't eating that much. Egg roll. I'm coming. See, that was a voice right there that told me to say I'm coming. I was going to keep it to myself, think I didn't have to say nothing. The voice said, so I had to choose. When you're saying something, well, y'all get it already. Y'all understand. I chose to say something. Not saying it was right or wrong, disrespectful, rude, but I think I did it out of fear. I was afraid that I was going to upset one of y'all. I'll be like, he rude and just eat, so. But everybody knows my mental health and enjoying myself. So, if you're enjoying me reading, though, I thank them. But if you're enjoying me reading, that's when the requests come in. That's when you make comments. And then, matter of fact, pick a book for me. I might just read it if you like to hear my voice. Matter of fact, if you like to hear my country, well, I might start charging people just to, I do bedtime stories for you. If you like my voice that much, pay that. But it's just me getting myself together. I already feel sharp just reading this, but I'm trying to push through this because I feel like, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna eat one more egg roll, and then I'm gonna keep reading. And I'm gonna keep going. Just for the rest of the night. One more egg roll. I'm gonna do less pause. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. The whole war of control between humans is about making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. We create a loop. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and making it and taking it personally. Because usually we start gossiping about our assumptions. Remember, gossiping is the way we communicate to each other in the dream of hell and transfer poison to one another. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and we believe we are right about the assumptions. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption, because assumptions set us up for suffering. The big matote in the human mind creates a lot of chaos, which causes us to misinterpret everything and misunderstand everything. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. We have the habit of dreaming with no basis in reality. Damn, yeah, that's right. Like, you know this person crazy. Why is you arguing with them? And you think about yourself, like, you messing up your own self, you can end up in jail or dead. We literally dream big. I said I was gonna stop doing it, huh? We literally dream things big. We literally dream things up in our imaginations because we don't understand something. We make an assumption about the meaning, and when the truth comes out, the bubble of our dream pops, and we find out it was not what we thought it was at all. An example, you are walking in the mall and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles and then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions just because of this one experience. With these assumptions, you can create a whole fantasy, and you really want to believe this fantasy and make it real. A whole dream begins to form just from your assumptions. And you can believe, oh, this person really likes me. In your mind, a whole relationship begins from that. Maybe you even get married in this fantasy land. But the fantasy is in your mind, in your personal dream. Making assumptions in our relationships is really asking for problems. Often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think and that we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we assume they should do, we will, if they don't do what we assume they should do, we assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is my book read. I gotta pause. Done be taking me there. Well, I lost where I'm at. Well, how far did I go? Okay. If they don't do what we assume they should do, we feel so hurt and say, you should have known. Another example, you decide to get married and you make the assumption that your partner sees marriage the same way that you do. Then you live together and you find out this is not true. This creates a lot of conflict, but you still don't try to clarify your feelings about marriage. The husband comes home from work and the wife is mad and the husband doesn't know why. Maybe it's because the wife made an assumption. Without telling him what she wants, she makes an assumption that he knows her so well, that he knows what she wants, as if he can read her mind. She gets so upset because he fails to meet her expectations. Making assumptions in relationships leads to a lot of fights, a lot of difficulties, a lot of misunderstandings with people we supposedly love. Making assumptions. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think. Yes, we can. And we don't have to say what we want. They are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, what we assume they should do, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. Again, we make the assumption that the other person knows what we want. A whole drama is created because we make this assumption and then put more assumptions on top of it. It is very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything. We have the need to justify. It is very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything in order to feel safe. We have millions of questions that need answers because there are so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It is not important if the answer is correct. Just the answer itself makes us feel safe. This is why we make assumptions. If others tell us something, we make assumptions. And if they don't tell us something, we make assumptions to fulfill our need to know and to replace the need to communicate. We make assumptions to replace our need to communicate. We replace our assumptions. We place assumptions to replace our needs to communicate. So, the question is, why do us as humans think we don't gotta communicate? Or why is it hard for us to communicate? me go write that down. I wrote it down like this. Said, why do humans don't like talking, so they choose assumptions? I wrote it down like just like that. But I need to write down something, man. Okay. Yeah, man. That people create something. I'm tired. I'm a growing boy and I ain't that much, you know? I'm going to sleep. Feeling my body is calling for you. And now where I'm at, 6-8. If others this is why we make assumptions. It makes us feel safe. This is why we make assumptions. If others tell us something, we make assumptions. And if they don't tell us something, we make assumptions. To fulfill our need to know and to replace the need to communicate. That's the key part to that question I wrote down here. Humans don't like to talk, but they like to make assumptions because they want to know. Because they just want to know and answer that they believe. Even if we hear something and we don't understand, we make assumptions about what it means and then believe the assumptions. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. Why we don't have the courage to ask questions? Write that down too. These like some basic elements of why people don't communicate. I don't want to overlook it and not write it down thinking, this ain't nothing. Because it's just simple stuff, and this basic. I'm learning that it's simple stuff. So this last thing I'm writing down, I said the last thing. I hope this is the last one I gotta stop and write down. What did he say? I forgot what he said. He said humans don't like to do what? Humans don't like. We don't have the courage to ask questions. We don't have the courage to ask questions. We don't have the courage to ask questions. And that's crazy he said that. And in regard to talking to college students, it's like you in college, sitting in a room, or in just class in general, high school students, it's like the whole thing is people scared to ask questions. It starts in school for some reason, because you don't want your peers, you don't want to hold people up. You don't want to hold people up. Don't want to hold people up. So you still have that question, so they gonna say something to you. So instead, they're gonna say something to you. So you're not asking questions, because really you a bitch. Or you being considerate. I ain't saying everybody was scared. Some people like, okay, I don't want to hold everybody up. Okay, so let's go back to that. I'm saying you that you don't want to hold everybody up. You don't want to hold everybody up, so but it's robbing you of something. So you definitely don't go back home and look at it or ask the teacher in that class or nothing. Who is this up 5 in the morning with me? Still reading this book, whoever you are. I'm cooking some beans. Done eating the food, so I can better focus on the reading now, y'all. Look, I guess I got the spirit of reading because I'm running this teacher cert. Shout out to Kansas City teachers, Kansas City bonfire. It's like 3 years ago, bonfire, right, huh? We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. These assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously. Most of the time, because we have agreements to communicate this way. We have agreed that it is not safe to ask questions. We have agreed that if people love us, they should know what we want or how we feel. When we believe something, we assume we are right about it to the point that we would destroy relationships in order to defend our position. Oh my God. We make the assumption that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. This is the biggest assumption that humans make. And this is why we have a fear of being ourselves around others. Because we think everyone else would judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. So even before others have a chance to reject us, we have already rejected ourselves. That is the way the human mind works. We also make assumptions about ourselves, and this creates a lot of inner conflict. I think I'm able to do this. You make this assumption, for instance. When you discover you aren't able to do it, you overestimate or underestimate yourself because you haven't taken the time to ask yourself questions and to answer them. Perhaps you need to gather more facts about a particular situation. Or maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about what. Or maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about what you really want, what you truly want. Perhaps you need to gather more facts about a particular situation. What you truly want. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. I'm gonna tell you that. Page 70. Oh, damn. I can finish it. This is chapter 5 is 75. I'm 7, so 5 more pages. Oh, let me stretch first. Oh, my God. Back. Ooh. Oh, my God. Five more pages for chapter 4. Dang, now I started chapter 4. I'm about to finish chapter 4. Well, let's go on and finish chapter 4. It's 5, so it's gonna be daylight. Now I stayed up to sun. I'm cooking these beans, so. Okay, let's finish chapter 4. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. You have to justify why you like that person. You only see what you want to see. You deny there are things you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions. And one of the assumptions is, my love will change this person. But this is not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you, and you get hurt. Suddenly, you see what you didn't want to see before. Only now, it is amplified by your emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. We don't need to justify love. It is there or not there. Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means we don't really like them. If we try to change them, this means we don't really like them. Damn. Of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who is exactly the way you want him or her to be. Find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be, instead of trying to change that person. Also, that person must love you just the way you are, so he or she doesn't have to change you at all. If others feel they have to change you, that means they really don't love you just the way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? So why be with someone if you're not the way So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false image. Graven false image. That made me think about really false image. Oh shit. If you love me the way I am. Dang, false image and I am around the same. Oh Lord. Okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye-bye. Find someone else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means the Agreements we make with others are clear and impeccable. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I get it now. Okay, we have to be what we are so we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye-bye. Find someone else. Okay, gotcha. Just imagine the day that you stop making assumptions with your partner and eventually with everyone else in your life. Imagine the day. Your way of communicating will change completely. Your way of communicating will change completely. And your relationships will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. And your relationships will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions, is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume you know all there is to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. Also, find your voice to ask for what you want. Everybody has the right to tell you no or yes, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you and have the right to say yes or no. If you don't understand something, it is better for you to ask and be clear instead of making an assumption. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly. And they say cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison. Without making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable. With clear communication. So it's like all these things is trying to get to having an impeccable word. Stop making assumptions. So he's saying my impeccability of word can be kind of messed up, even because I'm making assumptions. So I gotta get that right. If I can have a good, strong word and foundation, I'll be toned to and fro. With clear communication, all of your relationships will change. With clear communication, all of your relationships will change, not only with your partner, but with everyone else. You won't need to make assumptions because everything becomes so clear. This is what I want. This is what you want. If we communicate in this way, our word becomes impeccable. If all humans could communicate in this way, with impeccability of the word, there would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. All human problems would be resolved if we could just have good, clear communication. You know what Dunn just really said? An example, I'm gonna give you an example of what he just said. Y'all ready for this crazy ass example? Ladies, know what the hell you want to eat. Stop saying, I don't know what we want. And then fellas, we need to know what the hell we want to eat too. So I'm not just putting the pressure on y'all ladies. Motherfuckers need to know what the hell they want to eat. If we can come to better conclusions. Okay, you want this, I want that, boom, 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 pick here. Dang, it'd be so much easier than, go, baby, I don't know what you want. And I'm like, baby, you choose what you want. You're like, no. Even that little shit is asking for disaster. Because it frustrates me. I'm saying me. I'm sure it frustrates other guys. And ladies, I've seen y'all get frustrated when guys don't know what the hell they want. So this shit is frustrating. So just know what the hell you want to eat. That's one of them damn single things. When you don't want to... Actually, that is a single thing when you don't know what the fuck you want to eat. I just thought about it. You're being lazy. Because that's what the fuck I don't want to think about. I don't want my thoughts to think about what the fuck I want. That's a lazy man's thing. People that's in a family should think about what the fuck they want to eat. If you're in a fucking relationship with somebody and you act like no, it's okay sometimes, but all the fucking time, no. You're causing problems, you're causing issues. That's single shit. And that's, matter of fact, let's note that today. That when you're in a relationship and you never know what the fuck you want to eat and you always putting it on the other person, man or girl, from both sides. If you always putting it on the other person, that is single shit, and your ass probably need to be single. Cause that shit is frustrating. That shit is frustrating. It's yeah. Keep going. This, then, is the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. Just saying this sounds easy, but I understand that it is difficult to do. It is difficult because we so often do exactly the opposite. We have all these habits and routines that we are not even aware of. Becoming aware of these habits and understandings the importance of this agreement is the first step. Becoming aware of these habits and understanding the importance of this agreement is the first step. We have all these habits and routines that we are not even aware of. You know, in the control of my schedule. But understanding its importance is not enough. But understanding its importance is not enough. Information or an idea is merely the seed in your mind. Information or an idea is merely the seed in your mind. What we really make the difference is actions. What will really make the difference is action. Page 73, what really make the difference is action. Taking the action over and over again strengthens your will, nurtures the seed, and establishes a solid foundation for the new habit to grow. After many repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature, and you will see how the magic of your word transforms you from an uneducated magician into a educated magician. An educated magician uses the word for creation, giving, sharing, and loving. By making this one agreement a habit, your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to, when you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of the spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, and the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Toltec. This is the path to personal freedom. Becoming a master of intent, a master of spirit, a master of love, a master of gratitude, and a master of life. Enjoying all things. And that's the end of chapter 4, guys. And that's, that was the third agreement. And now we're already on the fourth agreement. Always do your best. That's chapter 5. And I'm going to stop reading right there because I got some notes to take. Let's see as I take this. Because that was making assumptions. I wanted to say getting control of my schedule / routine / habits. My house. That might be a book. Who in my house? Who told you that? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what he said, because he said a lot at the end. And the biggest thing that he said, we have all these habits and routines that we are not even aware of. I was just so, the one reason why it took me so long to get back on here is because I had started meditating. I was like, man, let me calm down. Like, I'm doing all this stuff. Like, why am I doing this? Even this book reading, why am I doing this? I literally had to go back, because it's crazy that I just read this, because right before I went back live, I was like, no. Like, I literally just took notes and said the live talk show, season 2 is about to end soon. And I was just looking at what direction, and I was like, okay, it's about to end soon, but how's it about to end? What's next for it? When is it coming back? So it wasn't just, okay, I'm about to end it. Like, no, okay, what's next with it? And then what comes after that, and what else I'm about to add on? So I was thinking about all that. Like, that is getting control of your schedule, not just doing shit, man. Like, I don't want to just be doing stuff. And then I even thought about, like, the way I'm doing the live talk show, that's not necessarily even part of the plan. I'm sharing my story, but it was supposed to be more getting everybody else's story. And this is like the second season of me just sharing my story, which is everybody else's story anyway, but still. No, I'm gonna go interview people, get the live news going back. I said I was gonna do that, and then I was just going over ways to do live news, and also making sure, do I have the energy for it, and if that's what I really wanna do. And I'm going back, and I was thinking, like, is that what I really wanna do? You know, you gotta think about it. Is that really what I wanna do? Like, cause all of this information, even things you wanna do, is guests in your house. You is you. So you're like, okay, I gotta survive. Let's go back to the beginning. The beginning is, okay, I'm alive. And I gotta nurture myself. That's the beginning. Let me write that down. Go back to the beginning. That's the only question you need to ask yourself throughout life. I can breathe, and what I gotta do to nurture myself. Go back to the beginning. I can breathe. Now, let's nurture. Go back to the beginning. I can breathe. Now, it's time to nurture. And so when you think of nurture, you're like, okay, what I gotta do to take care of myself? So that means, what do you gotta do to take care of yourself? Think about what it's not selfish. It's not selfish to think like this. What do you got to do to take care of yourself? Because what did we learn? For everyone that hasn't flown on an airplane, for everyone that hasn't flown on an airplane, for everyone that hasn't flown on an airplane, we all know, for everyone that hasn't flown on an airplane, the people that have flown on an airplane know that one lesson that you get from flying on an airplane is to put your air mask on first, because you can help people better. You can help people better when you're able to breathe first. So, spiritual and I think even counselor and psychiatric research, I think all mental health research leads to taking care of yourself first, and you can help everybody else better, a little better. So what do I got to do to take care of myself? How do I nurture myself? What do I do? So even if that's going to get your nails, if that's going to get your nails done, your hair done, if you got to get on a schedule and say, I'm going to get my hair done every month or every 2 damn weeks, if that's what you got to do to feel better, that's what you got to do to get back right. Because the nurturing process could change. It can be a little messy. If well, y'all like this, jump it, do it. If you got to jump, it's okay. Don't make no drastic decisions and financial decisions. But if it's little stuff, like, you got to see what you like. Because a lot of us are so boggled down with so much stuff, we don't even know what we like. So get out there and try some things. So I'm going to put this on it. Get out there, and try some things. And ain't that how it work? So say you was born say you was on this and you was born and you was a baby. Now you just want nurture. You look how a baby, you curious, you trying things to see if you like it. So yeah, get out there and try some things to see if you like it. I've been doing that lately, and I learned that I don't like some things. Like I thought I was gonna like it. No, I didn't like that. And some people might need to do it because you've been judging stuff, and it's creating a poisonous hole in you, and it's gonna be cancer and destroy you. Something so small, so like it's deadly and it's detrimental, and immediately we should figure out how to nurture ourselves. This your boy Terrain checking in from the ER. Book read for agreements, and we'll be coming back once again. Chapter 5, the 4th agreement. Always do your best. I'm a little shaky about going to this chapter. I'm thinking it's gonna require me to ask for this, but always do your best. I don't know. I can't wait to see what the hell this means.